What's going on, guys? So I started filming the previous section of this video a couple weeks ago, so I don't really know where I left off as I'm filming this one, but I removed the passenger airbag and I removed the dash clock, and I said I was going to fill it with something like custom. So what I did was I just cut out a piece of plexiglass that like I measured that size and cut it out to kind of fit there, and then I wrapped it in a like a plaid cloth, basically like a buffalo plaid cloth, and it turned out pretty good. So I think I'm going to do the airbag as well, and maybe I might do a couple other accent pieces just so it matches, so there's not just some random plaid right there. But yeah, it turned out pretty good. So right now what I'm doing actually is I got a steering wheel plate adapter from John Smith Racing, and then I got the Momo steering wheel hub adapter. So show you guys that right there. The only thing I'm missing is my steering wheel, which should be in tomorrow. So what I decided to do was start today with everything, and you can see I took the center console out too, thinking about doing something with that. Still haven't really figured out what yet, but we'll get back to that. Anyways, just kind of wanted to show you guys the bolts you got to remove here. So both airbags are out, so I'm going to get rid of the module as well, because that's added weight and it's not really needed. So what I did was I pulled the fuse for it underneath the driver's side dash there on that fuse panel, just because I won't need the fuse anymore since it's not going to be in. Also, while I was under there, I pulled the radio fuse and the one other fuse under the, I think there was another radio fuse under the hood of the car. But anyway, wanted to show you guys this. So right here, it's kind of hard to see there. I don't know if we can get like a flash on here. There we go. So like right there, there's a green bolt, and then on the, that's on the passenger side. On the driver's side, I'm trying to point to it, right where these two here were, there were also two more green bolts. That's what holds the module in, which is this blue thing back here. There's also two harnesses, so I wanted to show you guys that. I'm about to remove that. All right, guys, I got the module out here, as you can see. Let me turn that flash off there. About a pound, I guess. It's not a lot. I accidentally broke one of the HVAC vents, but it doesn't matter. It's still gonna blow and work okay. But so got that out, and I'll show you guys. Got the airbag out as well. It was 2 screws, which I'll show you here. There's these little plastic caps on each end of the steering wheel. You just use a little screwdriver, pop those out, and the 8mm bolts are on both sides of the steering wheel, left and right. And then once you unbolt those, airbag comes loose. Just a little clip right here that you use to, or that you unclip from the harness, and then it pops out. All right, guys, so once the airbag piece is out of the steering wheel, there's a little connector right here that you disconnect. Then you get a T50 Torx bit right in here, and you unbolt this bolt here in the center of the steering. All right, guys, so once you get that 15mm, or the T50 bit out of the center of the steering wheel, you'll get your steering wheel puller. This one here comes with a bunch of different bolts. Just find the one that will thread properly. You don't want to strip it, so make sure you screw the bolts in each of these holes here to make sure that they go in smooth before you hook up the puller. Once those two are in, you'll tighten up your black one here until it reaches the center point of this, and then that's when you'll start tightening this to pull it. So I'm not going to film myself doing that just because it's hard with one hand, but I'll show you guys what it looks like afterwards. Alright, guys, so I got the steering wheel off. I already reassembled it, put the airbag back inside of it just to keep everything all in one piece, make it easier to weigh later. The steering wheel puller kit would have worked, but when I got the airbag off, I noticed that one of the holes for the bolts for the steering wheel puller was already stripped out, so I couldn't thread a bolt in there. So what I did really is I just wiggled the steering wheel back and forth real hard until it popped off, which is usually what a bunch of guys do instead of getting the steering wheel remover. So this is what I'm left with. I'm going to pop that off, and I'm going to get the new hub put on there and everything ready to go for the new steering wheel. All right, guys, so to get this piece off, you'll have to stick your screwdriver up a couple of these holes. There's one here, one here, one here, and one back here. And to get to this one back here, you got to take this plate off here, like the metal plate and the cover, and then the metal plate. So I was going to remove this anyways, just for weight reasons. So I probably won't put that back on. I'll just put the plastic cover back on. So yeah, we'll get the rest of these removed off this to pop this off, and then go from there. Okay, everyone, so I got the old hub off, and so now the next step that I had to do, which I already did, was I grinded these little sections down here where this delete or gap filler plate, whatever you want to call it, is going to go. So this is from John Smith Racing, and anybody who has an S97 or S95 who's changed the steering wheel knows that if you just put a regular, like the Momo hub or NRG or whatever hub here, there's a huge gap around here and it looks hideous. So what this plate does is it goes over top of this like so and kind of fills that gap, so it looks a little cleaner, a little more flush. You don't see all the internals of the steering wheel and stuff like that. So next step is put this on, and then I'm going to put the new hub on. All right, guys, so that John Smith Racing plate is on. Looks pretty good. Looks a lot better than, you know, not having the plate, that's for sure. I mean, it's not perfect, and I think I didn't grind this one down far enough, so there's a little bit of a gap, but I'm not too worried about it. It's not a show car, it's going to be a race car, so looks pretty good. So now we'll get the hub on. All right, guys, so we got the hub on, and now it's time to get the steering wheel. All right, everyone, so I haven't actually unboxed it yet, so I just cut the box open. We're going to check this thing out. There it is. Alright, guys, there we go. Look at that thing. That's awesome. And that's so much smaller than the original, too. That's going to be perfect. Alright, guys, so here's side by side. Well, we'll just go on top kind of comparison here. I'll show you how much smaller this is. So what I read, I think, is that this is 11 and this is a 13 or 14, something like that, inch diameter. So you can see how much smaller that is. It's going to be so much easier to control. Alright, guys, check this thing out. It's pretty sweet. I like it. Definitely love that it's Ford. It says Ford. Kind of sticks with the, you know, branding of the vehicle, I guess you could say. And it looks awesome. I'm glad I got this plate. It was like 12 bucks or something like that, from John Smith Racing. So if you plan on switching your steering wheel out, definitely go there, get one of these, because this is hiding all that junk in the steering wheel that would just take away from the beauty of this Ford Performance Sparco steering wheel. So definitely dig it. Was a little pricey. I mean, the hub was like 90 bucks, the steering wheel was like 240. So I mean, you're over 300 bucks for a steering wheel basically, and then you include the plate. So a little bit pricey, but I mean, I like it. It's nice. I like the feel of like smaller steering wheels. I may have mentioned it in one of my other videos, but my last sports car was an S2000. So the S2000s was built for track hobbyists. So the steering wheel was smaller, shifter had shorter throws, it was closer to you, it had 50-50 weight balance. So coming to a Mustang, it's a little different, but I'm getting it there. I'm getting it where I want it to be. So stay tuned. I got some more parts in today, so I'll be having some more videos come up here shortly of installing some more stuff. Thanks.